Hello everyone, welcome back to the standard YouTube content of tier lists. I know you guys think this is the absolute most high quality content on the platform, so that's why I have decided to bring you my updated tier list. I say updated, of course we've had a whole new set and a ranked season since it was last published, so really this is basically a new one. I'm going to stop rambling and we'll get right into it. Right after this message from my sponsor, which is me. Please subscribe to the channel so I can get paid. Thank you. Okay, right. So, let's go ahead and explain the tiers from the bottom upwards. Bad means I think the deck is bad. Tier 2 means the deck is like, it's pretty good. You'll have success with it in Bronze, Silver, Gold, and potentially even Master, but I would not recommend playing it in Legend if you want to be having a positive win rate. 1.5 is this deck is competitive, potentially a little bit suboptimal. You have to kind of, you know, for the amount of effort you put in, the amount you get back is not great. Basically the reward to like effort trade-off is not the best, but it's still pretty damn good. Tier 1 is play this, you'll have a good time. And a new addition for this time is my best deck in format. This is the deck which I think is the best. And to be fair, I think for this format there's little debate, but, you know, this is just there for me to put my pick as if you really don't know what to play in Tier 1, go for this. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. So you can see at the bottom there we got a little spoiler. Look, I'm just gonna put this here now. I think we all know Green Mask Tribal is the best deck in the format. It's just the fact that you really don't need a brain to play it that well is a pretty good selling point in and of itself. And I've actually got a video coming out at some point soon talking about why Green Mask is so good, Green Mask Tribal is so good, because on the surface, this was actually a deck that I think I think anyone who read the spoilers for this and then was going to say that's the best deck in format for the tribal stuff is lying, because there were numerous things that had to sort of fall into place that it's possible a few people put all those bits and pieces together, but I think there's a lot of combinations and a lot of changes which have resulted in this being the best deck in the format, which I don't think necessarily we could have all seen coming. So, you know, that's basically what I wanted to say. I've got a video talking about exactly why it's so good. But anyway, that's my best deck in format. We all knew that was going to be there. Let's talk about the interesting stuff now. So, in terms of bad, I legitimately don't think there is a single bad deck in this format. You know, bad is just bad, and I don't think there's anything bad. Tier 2, I think there's a few, and we'll start off with Score Spear OTK. I don't think this is, like I said, bad. I just think that it's a little bit slow. So you will start struggling once you start going up against these faster decks, and it is weak to several matchups that you are very likely to see in Legend and Master, where, like, you know, you can just sort of struggle to do your thing. So, yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. It is still really good, and obviously if people don't know how to play around it, then then obviously, yeah, you'll win, which is why I think it's much better in the lower ranks. And even on global, in the higher ranks, it's not bad because people just don't play this deck. But I don't think it's like a dominant force or anything. Again, let me clarify, tier 2 decks are not bad. They're just decks that maybe I wouldn't play in Legend. And I don't know if you've seen how many people are in Legend. It's not that many. So, you know, I wouldn't worry. Okay. Next in tier 2, and a deck I'm going to go for White Battle Spirits. So, again, this is a deck that I think generally as a global player base, we kind of decided, oh yeah, this isn't that good early on in Forbidden, and they just kind of left. Even though it's actually kind of gotten better with time, it's still strong. I think people got fundamentally a card that says your opponent cannot cast spells is kind of good. You know, just a tad. But there are more counters that exist in the format for it. And, you know, it is slow, relatively speaking. So it's not, you know, it's not a deck I necessarily want to ladder with, and because you know, the same problem has been there. Your games are just going to be longer, and if you want to be efficient, you want to be playing faster decks, so you can just grind out those games if you want to ladder and like get into the higher ranks. Obviously, during a ranked season, it doesn't matter because you're just looking for wins. Then, and I think Battle Spirits is a perfectly fine deck. So you know, if you took a break from the game, for example, during Heroic Masquerade, and have just come back now, and you happen to have White Battle Spirits, I don't think there's necessarily a need for you to go out and make a new deck. You can play this if you're in the lower ranks, and you'll be fine. But obviously, as you start climbing, you're probably going to want something new. But I think for the next month or so, I think before we're getting the next set, I believe it's going to be on the 24th, because that's when all the stuff is leaving the store. You can, you know, chill. You'll be fine. Okay, next, let's go ahead and I think this is legitimately the worst deck right now, and that's Purple Battle Spirit. It's not bad either. It's just like the reasons to play it are really limited, because like if you wanted to play a heavy control based purple deck, I'd say play Vampires. If you want to play this sort of revive-y game, like, yeah, that's a thing this deck can do, but it's like, why though? Like, it's so slow, it's so setup based, and the payoff after you get like all that set up is like, okay, yeah, cool, you get to spam a board, but for example, if you were to go against artists, they'll just go, oh, I'll put everything into your base, and then I'll attack for game, and you'll be like, shit. Which is like, you know, not ideal. So, yeah. Blue Mask as well can just like absolutely fuck this deck. Yeah, it's yeah. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and put Duelists on. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, this might be a bit surprising, because I've kind of been like, yeah, this deck's bad. It is relative to the Glory decks, which is, you know, like saying, I don't have a good analogy right now that is Zenonzard based. Anyway, the point is, it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's just like, it could have been so much better. It's just like, you know, for the mechanic that it has to exist, it's kind of been just given underpowered cards relative to the other stuff. For example, the 3-cost searcher they got, to search for the spell, cool, but everything else got like a bonus effect, and the bonus effect on this is just the thing that everything in the archetype has, which is like the whole, like, right, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like there should have been another skill there. It just doesn't get that. Yeah, I mean, now to be fair, I understand obviously why the 1-cost didn't get that skill, because with Excella it would be an infinite. So yeah, I understand why. Not only would it be an infinite attack, it would also be an infinite ramp to 10 mana or whatever if you want it to be. So like, yeah, I get it, but I don't know. It just feels like it's just missing something. You run Battle Spirit stuff, and that does make the deck a lot better. This is not pure Duelist. This is like Duelist with, like, you know, Seaguam Nova, some Battle Spirit cards, some Golem cards, like kind of just red good stuff. With like the Duelist is like the core theme. It's like the main bulk of it, because they have so much potential to just, you know, aggro you. They can just win a game out of nowhere. But it's kind of like, why would I play Duelist when I could play Tribal Mask? Is sort of the unfortunate scenario. Okay, next, speaking of Tribal, we'll go ahead and we'll take Tribal, and I think Tribal is like, it's like, basically, if you don't win like really fucking quickly, if your opponent has a couple of answers, you're going to struggle, because you don't have that late game, and that's kind of how the deck was designed. It was like an Unga Bunga, ooh, Miko face. But obviously, then you add in masks, and you have like this whole other utility package, which makes it a lot stronger. So that's why I think pure mask, pure green is like, it's pretty decent. It's, again, tier 1.5, it's not like it's bad, you could play this. It's just like, you'd probably have like a 50-50 to maybe slightly less than 50-50 win rate. Okay, next, let's go ahead and do Green Mask. And Green Mask, I think, is kind of like the same deal, right? Like, if you play Green Mask, yes, you have that late game, but now you don't have the early game. Decks are pretty quick, so you might just find yourself being hopelessly far behind. As long as your opponent has the answers, once you start getting to that higher end of mana, they can just stop you from like going into your 9-drop. It's gonna be tough. So yeah, that's why that is there. Okay, next, let's do Red Battle Spirits. And Red Battle Spirits, I think, is tier 2. And it's kind of like the same thing. Like, why would I play Red Battle Spirits when I could play, like, this Duelist Hybrid, which kind of just lets me run all the good parts of Red Battle Spirits with, like, you know, an additional, like, ability to just aggro. It's just kind of better. Like, the decks do different things. Like, Red Battle Spirits is more control-y, but it's also, like, the control is not so relevant as to be like, whoa, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I put it in tier 2. But again, you could very happily play this deck in the lower ranks. Okay, next up, Blue Mask. I'm going to put Blue Mask at top 1.5. I mean, obviously the deck is still very good. Losing Bird only made the deck not degenerate. Losing Attache only made the deck not degenerate. Now it's just hella strong. So, you know, yes, I don't think anyone needs an explanation for why Blue Mask is so good. It is good. Yellow 2s. I'm going to put this here because basically there's like no reason to run yellow 2s when you could run yellow angels. Even though the deck is really strong and it's still like kind of degen a little bit, but like it's more easy to deal with than yellow angels. So it's like bottom of tier 1.5, top of tier 2 kind of range. Actually, no, well, yeah, we'll go for that. We'll go for that. Okay, next, I'm going to do White Mask, and I think this one might be a little controversial. I'm going to put White Mask here, and the reason I'm putting White Mask here is because I think it actually has quite strong matchups against the, it has like a very strong matchup against Green Mask Tribal. In my limited testing, to be fair, it's possible I got lucky in those like 5 to 10 games I did. I think it was like 8 or 9 games or something, but like, it was, you know, because everything in the Mask deck is like really cheap, the ability to just go buy to like the whole board is really strong, and it puts like the Green Mask players so far behind because they spend all their resources building this board under the assumption that you just don't have a ridiculous board wipe when White Mask happens to have that ridiculous board wipe. So that's the reason that it's kind of anti-meta. It's also good. It's just like, again, like, you know, like generally speaking, I'd rather play Soldier, but against this one particular matchup, it's like White Mask is really good. So I'm putting it in 1.5. I'm gonna put it here, but it's like there. It's like more of an like it counters the best deck in format in my testing. So yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and put in some tier 1s now. I think we'll put in these as because they're no surprise, Angels and Soldier. I think this was sort of, you know, everyone read these cards and were like, yeah, okay, this is going to be good. So that's there. Let's also put in one of my personal favorite all-time decks, which is Blue Lachesis Burn. This uses Anju, this uses burn stuff. There's lots of avenues for you to win. So obviously the ideal strategy is going to be for you to Lachesis, your Force, swap life, and then Howling Voice them down to 0. That's your ideal win, but there's other ways you can do it. You can burn them down with Anju and the 2 costs that burns. You can control them with Anju as well because you're going to be getting a removal like based off of that. You can do more burn with Revolver Condor. You know, you can run these tech choices. You can run Orca and stuff if you want to have like this additional optional aggro kill potential, whatever. You've got your infiltrating, like shoving highest cost to base. New legendary. You have a lot of options in this deck. You could run a mask package if you wanted to. That's like an option there. You can run like a legion package. Like, it's a deck that's really versatile with a lot of different things you can do and you can run. There's no really one build. There's no like an ideal build. It's just like a thing that like exists and it's strong. Basically, there's a lot of versatility there. It's never really sure what your opponent's going to be running, which I think is one of the selling points of the deck. And the reason I'm putting it above Soldier is just because Soldier's such a linear game plan. Like, you just do the same thing every game. It's like, if they have the answer, you just lose. Obviously, if they don't have the answer, you just win, because it's a very powerful game plan. That's why it's in Tier 1. But it's so linear that it's just like, eh. It's a fun deck to play for a while, but eventually it's just like the same thing. And if you're losing, it doesn't feel great. But if you're winning, it feels good. So, yeah. Okay, Artists, again, a deck I think is being slept on. I'm going to put this here. You know what? I'm putting it here. It's better than Duelists. So yeah, I think it's good. Like, yeah, it's strong. It's strong. I genuinely believe it's being slept on. I'm gonna move Duelist down a little bit, actually. I genuinely think it's just being slept on. Like, the ability to just go board wipe is ridiculous. Board wipe build board is stupid. In combination with the value it has, and again the fact that you can just run a blue mask package. It's a thing you can just do. Like, that's good. So yeah. Then we got Blue Mill. This is definitely the worst blue deck. It's still not bad. I'm going to put it like here. Again, you can play it. It's still good in the low ranks. Again, you could run a blue mask package if you wanted to. That's an option. But yeah. Fundamentally, having access to a blue mask package just means the deck is going to be good. You know what? Yeah, I think it's up here. I think it's better than Score Speed. We'll go for that. We'll go for that. We'll go for that. And then finally, my personal favorite deck in the game right now, just to the point where I have max raritied it. I think that I'm going to get shit for this. But I want to put it in Tier 1. I want to put it in Tier 1. It's so good, but it's like also... Fuck it. I'm putting it in Tier 1. And this is the only one where it's like, maybe it should be in 1.5. But like, I think it's good. I think it's being slept on. I think the control you get with it is crazy. Roav is insane. As long as you see like your 1-drop spell and like a Roav, it's like, well, I'm healing up. I'm controlling your board. What are you going to fucking do? Some decks can do stuff, of course. But, you know, a lot can't. And having this control so early is really nice. And, you know, the buff with the Legion card was also quite good. If you choose to run it. So, yeah. That's the tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful and informative. Let me know your thoughts on the tier list in the comment section down below. Please join my Discord server, links in the description. Like the video, sub to the channel if you enjoy what I'm doing. Please get me to 1K. I would really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.